And go. And welcome back to Mr. Gregoris Math. Today we're looking at using trigonometry to find a missing angle. So we've got a right triangle here, which is nice. We'll use some right triangle trigonometry. As always, my first step is to label my triangle. So I go to my indicated angle. In this case, there's no angle indicated, but there is one that's missing. So that's the one I'm going to label from. I like to label my side across as my opposite immediately. I'll mark that down with an O. And then my longest side is my hypotenuse, and that leaves the remaining side to be that remaining label. Remember, there's only three labels: the opposite, the adjacent, and the hypotenuse. So once we have those labeled, we'll go over to our SOHCAHTOA, and that's going to help us to determine which ratio we're going to use. So I look at which of my labels matches up with a piece of information or a variable. In this case, H and O match up with a piece of information, or sorry, H and A match up with a piece of information or a variable, but O doesn't. So I'm not going to use any of the ratios that have O. I am going to use the cosine ratio. Now remember, when we're setting up, we just write the ratio, an angle, and the fraction. Now I don't know the angle, but I did label from this angle X. So my angle is going to go in the angle location. And now I'll do the adjacent, because A first, over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be 10 over 17. Now to get rid of cosine, because what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to solve for X, I actually need to use the cosine inverse. So I don't necessarily have to write this step all the time, but that does show how we move cosine to the other side. We take the inverse. It's like tying up a tie and untying a tie. Now, at this point, I'm going to need a calculator. And fortunately, I have one right here. So I'm going to type in cosine inverse 10 divided by 17. I have to use the second function button. Maybe we can get a tight angle shot of this. I have to use the second function shot to press second function cosine, and that will change this cosine inverse to exactly as it looks here. Now we'll do 10 divided by 17, and we get our answer of X equals 53.97. We can back up a little bit here. Awesome. So now what is 53.97? Well, that's the measure of this angle of our triangle. And that's how we use right angle trigonometry to find a missing angle on a right triangle. Don't forget to like and subscribe, smash that notification button, check the details in the link below for merch. Take care.